Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator. Troublesome here. I'm going to... Okay, so I got my mic. I've been messing with audio settings for like an hour, trying to get it to sound right. I don't know if it's going to be right or not, so this might be pointless. I brought the old RX-7 back in here. I'm going to rebuild it for Friday. And then I think I'm going to take a little hiatus from Car Mechanic Simulator and play another game. And then maybe start rotating. I don't know. I'd like to get some BeamNG on. I'd like to do some farming simulator on here. City Skylines. City Skylines isn't very exciting. Of course, no simulators are really super exciting. But they're pretty cool. Alright, I just backed out, checked out my clip that I had done. It doesn't sound too bad, so we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it. It could be better, it could be louder. The problem is when I turn the gain up, I start to get some background noise. So any audio experts out there, post a comment, let me know you're an audio expert, and then tell me how to fix this. I like free service. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this thing nice and clean, perfect, and then maybe in another episode down the road, take it and mod it. I don't know if you can add, like, you know, spoilers and stuff. That'd be pretty cool. But I don't really know what all is. I don't really know what this is capable of. So we're going to stumble through it together. Crap. Excuse me. Oops. Yeah, we're going to stumble through it together because, you know, if you want somebody who knows what they're doing, probably ought not follow me. This is a RX-7, I don't know what year, like a 94-ish, from the Mazda DLC. I've never worked on one in real life, so I really don't know about accuracies and things of that nature here, but I can tell you this. If you didn't already know, these cars have a rotary engine, which is crazy unconventional for Mazda. And actually, you know, now that I talk about it, I actually want to learn more about it. Rotary engine was kind of a crazy thing for a car manufacturer to do. I don't know when they started it. I really want to learn more about it because typical car engines use pistons and camshafts and valves and a crankshaft, and they have an explosion at different points of the stroke of a piston that go up and down on a crankshaft. The rotary is a different animal altogether. It has a little, they call it a Dorito because it's a triangle, that spins inside of a housing, which you could call the engine block, that it sort of orbits, maybe oscillates is a better word, as it spins. And as it spins, it creates compression, not through what a gas cylinder engine does, which is up and down motion, compressing air, introducing a spark and fuel. It actually smushes the air between 2 points of the Dorito up against the wall of that up against the wall of that block, if you will. Once we take it apart, I'll kind of explain it a little better. I don't fully understand how the compression and exhaust strokes work, because it would seem like the timing for that would be complicated. The thing is, you can get quite a bit of power out of a small package. These engines are really physically tiny, and they pack a pretty big punch. Yeah, it doesn't really look very tiny there, but they're pretty small. Like I said, relatively speaking, they pack a pretty big punch. but it's not like a V6 or an inline six or anything like that. It's a rotary, and it's got rotors in it. So I think this is a tri-rotor. Maybe it's got 3 rotors in it. I'm not really entirely sure, but it's pretty cool. And the guy that came up with this, I bet he's something else, because you got to be pretty freaking creative to come up with concept of a rotary. See how small it is in there? I don't know if these are turbocharged or not. Since I'm trying to make this channel somewhat educational, if you don't know what a turbocharger is, basically it's a little pump. It's an air pump, sorta, that takes the pressure from the exhaust and spins a impeller with the flow, basically, of the exhaust. It is coupled to another little fan compressor that spins up, and it compresses the air coming in and forces it into the combustion chamber of the engine, which gives it more oxygen, which gives it a more violent explosion of combustion. That's a rookie amateur way of explaining it, but that's essentially how it works. When you hear people talk about turbo lag, that's because at lower RPM, when the engine's just idling, it doesn't have a lot of exhaust pressure, so that compressor isn't going very fast. They call it spooling. Spooling up a turbo is when, once you start getting into the high RPMs and that exhaust really starts flowing out hard, it starts spooling up that turbo a lot faster and a lot harder. And it makes a lot more pressure, which is what PSI of boost is. So, yeah, even though there's no turbo on this, I'm trying to explain how the thing works. But that's what a turbo is, in a nutshell. Now, a supercharger, which is actually what this old girl has on it, is belt driven off of the engine. So instead of using exhaust, it just uses the crank to spin that belt, and it spins a compressor in there. This is a twin screw. This is a screw shape. This is a screw shape. And they intermesh together. You should, Google pictures of it if you're not familiar with it, because it's amazing how they work. Really tight tolerances and stuff like that. They basically, but they compress the air and force it down the neck of the engine at a lot of speed. So, on turbos, there's a thing called a blow-off valve that, if that pressure gets too high, and you can set these to whatever you want, if that pressure gets too high, it will basically relieve the pressure from, so it doesn't explode, essentially, the internal parts of the engine with all the pressure. So, if you ever listen to a turbo spool, or if you ever listen to a turbo car drive, you can hear the turbo start to spin up. It's like a whine. And you hear a whole lot of air moving, like a hissing noise. And that's the air cramming into that intake and compressing and, basically getting forced. And then usually right about the time people change gears, they've reached a high enough boost or a high enough RPM where you'll hear that blow off, like, it spits out what's left of the air. So it's like it's almost like punching a hole in a tire that takes like a half a second to drain. It's like just a real quick and then it's over. There's another, like a kind of a cackle sound associated with it too. Anyway, the way that it all works is really neat. So I understand why people like turbos and why people like superchargers. First of all, they sound awesome. Superchargers have a little bit different sound, but they're freaking cool, man. Freaking cool. All right, so as you can see, no crankshaft, no pistons. These are different stages where the Doritos are inside. It's a round chamber. So, get into this. See, what I don't understand is how these spark plugs work to fire each individual thing. Each individual cylinder, I guess, is what I don't even know what you call it. But here's half. All right, so that spins around inside there, and as you can see, it's on an offset on this crank where it orbits. That Dorito's spinning around this shaft, and this whole thing spins around this chamber. And inside of this cavity right here where my mouse is where it's compressing air. See, it goes from this big chamber. As it moves over, it makes it into a small chamber, so it's compressed. The spark plug will throw some spark at it. The injection will throw some fuel at it, and then it explodes. And then it blows out this exhaust right here. So, rotaries are rad. Rotaries are not, they don't have a lot of longevity, and that's another thing I don't understand why. I'm guessing it's because maybe the explosions are more violent. I don't know, but I know that they don't have a very long life. High mileage rotary engines are something to avoid because most likely they're going to need major There's the rotor. They do have a crankshaft, but it's not traditional crankshaft with the pistons, the connecting rods, or con rods attached to it. All right, so that's a teardown of that engine. Go over here and do some fixing. All right, I'm back, guys. That took forever. That was a lot of parts. So I spared you. You're welcome. Gonna check my PayPal for that. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this body. I'm gonna throw the whole body together. We can't spray it yet, but at least we'll have the rust gone. Nope. Nope. Yep. Get rid of it. Yep. Do the interior, because I always forget that until the end, and then I have to go get it. Like that. Nope. Oh, guys. Guys. Move it to the lift. Okay. Now that part's done. That is an ugly blue color, boy. Ugly. Those are good signs. I believe this door was missing all along. Yep. And as you know, I got to get glass for everything. Hood looks good. Front bumper, managed to repair it. It's the wrong color, but that's all right. That's all right. Passenger side door. Mirror. I need glass and license plates and that door. Let's go. Let's get it. That light. Beautiful. Beautiful. Didn't get the license plate. Typical. Nope. Haha, crap. Apparently I did take him out. I do not remember that part. Oh, that one maybe I didn't. Huh. Huh. Missed it. Missed that part. Oh, I was already in it some. Okay. Okay, I went ahead and bought the stuff that we need, which I think is just this. Okay, Body's fixed. Let's put the suspension together. That way we can paint it before we throw that rotary back in. So right about now is when my habit of buying excessive parts comes in handy, because there's some of this stuff that I know went bad during the fixing, but I still have some. Now, it takes away my supply, but it gets me through a few builds usually. So, you know, I'll take it. Disc is bad. Do need some parts still though. Gotta get. Let's see. Oh. All right. See if I got this. Bearing, drive axle. That's good. All right. I need a fuel tank, V8 rear muffler, catalytic converter, coil springs for the rear. What's that sway bar? Rear no. There it is. Sway bar B. Disc. Let's see how much I forget. Here we go. Rear B. I don't remember about these. You're gonna get some. Don't care. Don't remember about these, but I do know they're part of this car. Gonna get some. Not gonna hurt. Let's get a front sway bar too. What the hell? Both of them. Double what the hell. Alright. Discs. Need the non-ventilated. Getting a bunch of them. So these vents, this is where ventilated disc comes from. It's this gap in between with ridges. It helps it dissipate heat faster. Rear brakes don't grab as hard as fronts, and they don't have as much demand on them. So they're typically not ventilated discs unless it's a high performance car. A lot of cars with rear discs just have solid disc because they don't need to get rid of that much heat that fast. All right, catalytic converter, rear V8 muffler. Oh, that's overhead valve. That's not it. This is it. We got them both. Sue me. I think that'll get us through. That'll get us a little bit. Fuel tank. Freaking crap. Not gonna go up there without a fuel tank, guys. Get away, get away, get away, get away. And a fuel pump. Why not? Didn't get that spring either, did I? It's okay. Bar. There's where that little in link comes into play. This guy. Good thing I bought him. I didn't have him. Ready for the wheel. We are going to do something different for a wheel. At least I think I am. Selection's not great though. I'm telling you, especially when you're doing these little Japanese rice burner types. Alright, I'm looking forward to future DLCs for this game because a lot of guys said that the last one, I think it was 15 or 16, Car Mechanic Simulator, they came out with a bunch of DLCs. I have personally never played it. This is my first go around because if you've been following this channel, you'll know that I am pretty new to PC gaming. And I must admit, I enjoy it. So I don't know what all they'll do. I think they're going to have a tuning thing. There is a dyno in this garage that is locked. You can't get into it, but you can see in it. And here recently in one of the updates, they actually turned the lights on in it. So I think they're teasing people that the dyno is going to be ready. So yeah, getting that dyno ready will be neat. That will be neat. We can, which, you know, if they're going to give a dyno, they're going to have to give us some custom, you know, mod parts for these engines. Otherwise, there's going to be no point in the dyno. We've already got all the diagnostic tools we need for the engine troubleshooting. So I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out. All those bushings I buy, and I'm just about to run out. I'm not going to make it through this build. I don't think. I definitely am not. That's funny. Okay, so post a comment. Let me know what you prefer. Would you rather me sit here and ramble as I do the whole build? Would you rather me edit out the silence and just jump ahead to my next accomplishment, if you will, on the build? Would you rather me shut up and do the build in silence so you can just watch? Or that's your only three choices, because that's all I'm willing to do. Not going to stop, because I'm having too much fun. Learning a lot about editing, learning a lot about computer audio, microphones I've learned quite a bit about already. Also learning how hard it is to get YouTube subscribers. Out of bushings. Yep, I gotta go get some bushings. That is nutty, nutty, nutty. Can I get out of here? I hit escape and it went to the menu there. The exit menu. I thought I did something wrong. Then I hit escape again and it got me out of being underneath the car. I don't really understand that. I'm still trying to figure it out. What am I needing? Bushings. Lots of bushings. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I do. Because, you know, I'm going to use them. Just demonstrated how much I'm going to use. What I am going to go ahead and do is need to get those coil springs for the back. I'm going to go ahead and get the springs and strut set up for the front. Although I think I have struts from previous bit that I screwed up on. These, I need a cap for that front thingy. What is that called? There it is. Front shock absorber cap. Yep. All right, now let's go put this stuff together real quick. This video is going to end up being long, but that's okay. I'll cut it down as much as I can. I guess I didn't have two of those. I really thought I did. You know what? Let's go check the warehouse. One thing I have learned is that sitting in a room by yourself and talking nonstop to nobody is tough. It is tough. Okay. Some people probably love the sound of their own voice, and it's not a problem for all, but me personally, you know, it's just, it doesn't appeal to me. I think the back is done. Minus and exhaust. Don't have that sway bar. I'm missing several things. Okay, here we go. Okay, get some wheels. Oh, we could do the Fast and the Furious. Ooh, that's just like the ones Dom had in Fast and the Furious, I think. one of these, they were very similar. They had the spokes. Like, I like the darker better. I'm going to get them. Probably not going to be happy with them on the car. Let's do it. Let's go with a weird 19. Leaving the offset tucked in because I want to slam this thing. All right. Tire. You did some super low profile sport tire. 19s. That's as low as we can go. 225s. All right. Do it. Now, probably if I were building this in real life and money wasn't an object, I'd get a little bit wider in the back since it's a rear drive car. Not only because it would hook a little bit better, but it also just kind of looks cool. Yeah, man, I'd rather that be a lower profile tire. I like me some rubber bands. That's okay, though. Looking forward to seeing what the liveries are, or liveries, or whatever. I think something they updated here is they won't give you an option to balance one that's already balanced. Here when you... I guess that's it. Oh, wait. Allow me to demonstrate. When this one's done and I put the next one on, I'll show you what I mean, because I know I'm just rambling. So before, it would show everything you had, and anything that wasn't balanced would have this little icon right here. Well, now nothing's here except stuff that needs to be balanced. So it's actually kind of cool, because I double balanced quite a few things in my day, pointlessly. See how these things look. Needs to be bigger. Needs to be bigger. They are kind of Dom-esque. If you remember the wheels in the original Fast and Furious with his red RX-7, that is very similar to what those wheels look like, except I think they were all silver. I don't think they had any black at all. But in '99 or whatever, when that movie came out, that was kind of what was hot. What are we missing here? Oh, this. Wheel on without that. Back in that day, I was younger and actually built custom cars at that time of my life, too. Missing something here, too. Isn't that funny? What are we missing? Or not. Dummy. But I had some 17-inch wheels and some 40 series tires on a couple of different cars. Euro style. Silver was kind of hot. Black wheels hadn't really made a thing yet. Black wheels are actually kind of on the way out. But I still like them. Okay. That looks, you know, it's respectable. Should be bigger. Or the car should be lower so we can tuck them in that fender a little bit. But we're gonna deal. We're gonna build the engine. All right, guys. Just to put things into perspective, look how big that alternator is compared to that engine. Rather large. Okay, putting the last couple parts on this rotary engine. I think that'll do it. All right. I forget that every time. Okay. All right, guys, I think that is going to do it for the build. Now let's go over here and paint it. See what these livery. That kind of looks like Herbie. That kind of looks Canadian. Problem with Canadian. That's probably my favorite. You know what? I like it plain. Just do a yellow Mazda. A little less saturated, a little brighter. A little too bright, more saturated. I love it. Metallic is good. Good. Paint it. I think it looks pretty good. There's always a clip B missing. Always a clip B. So funny. Always a clip B. Our NOS bottle back there. Our gigantic spoiler. Let's try that one more time. Alright guys, we're here at the abandoned airport in our RX7. See the wheel well gap. Use some work. But it's a pretty dope car. Timeless almost. So let's rip some. Sounds like a lawnmower, which is what a rotary engine is, basically. Yeah, boy. Oops. All right. Get it. Get it. Do some drifting. Neutral drop. Oh, we can't do a neutral drop. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for joining me in rebuilding this Mazda. If you like this video, click that like button. If you're new here, why don't you go ahead and subscribe. I drop videos near daily. I'm going to play some simulator games pretty much forever. I'm going to throw this Mazda in the parking garage. That way if that DLC comes out with a tuning package, we can have a fresh RX-7 on hand. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one.